In the past week, Apple has gone crazy with their new updates to their products. We have the iPad, the Vision Pro, and of course the iPhone especially. And there are new updates coming to iOS as well as Apple Intelligence or AI. And I believe the intern that came up with that idea needs to get a raise today. So it got me thinking, since Apple has already entered the artificial intelligence era, I thought it would be a great idea to compare it to the Galaxy S24 Ultra because this has been my daily phone for most of the year. And the question remains, is it time to switch back to the iPhone 15 Pro Max? Or can the iPhone now go toe-to-toe with the Galaxy S24 Ultra since it has everything the S24 Ultra has? These are the questions I am hoping to address in this video. So let's get into it. Okay, so I want to quickly cover the hardware differences between these two phones. And yes, we all know design is very subjective, but looking past that and focusing on hardware, there are a few things that make each phone unique in its own way. The Galaxy S24 Ultra has a flat display with slightly rounded corners, making it easier to hold or reduce any form of hand fatigue because let's face it, a 6.8 inch or a 6.9 inch phone is going to cause some difficulty holding it every single day, especially if you have smaller hands. Samsung furthermore tried to make the experience worthwhile by making this a titanium phone, moving in that same direction as the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And while the weight of the S24 Ultra is not as far off as the S23 Ultra from last year, it definitely feels lighter due to the new material, which is true. My experience with the S24 Ultra has been positive, and that is not to say the 15 Pro Max isn't designed the same way as last year. It is almost identical. However, they tucked in the corners just like the S24 Ultra, making it rounded, making it more comfortable to use without having to hold a brick every now and then. The titanium build is a welcome or was a welcome addition to the iPhone. So shout out to Apple for making that little but important change. On a personal level, when it came to unlocking these phones, Face ID is top tier. It is honestly one of the best ways to unlock your phone because it is almost instantaneous. Now, while the S24 Ultra does have some sort of face recognition software within the phone, it doesn't come close to Face ID. It's why most people just use the awesome ultrasonic fingerprint reader. Now the displays have seen great upgrades, especially on the Galaxy S24 Ultra. They added a 2600 nits of max brightness to a phone that already had good brightness levels in the summer. When going head to head with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, the S24 Ultra is clearly the better and the brighter display. Apple did not really upgrade the display this time around, so it's really on par with the 14 Pro Max instead. You know, 2000 nits of max brightness, an LTPO panel, 120Hz refresh rate, and all that good stuff. If I had to choose one to watch videos and whatnot, it would definitely be on the S24 Ultra because it doesn't have the dynamic island that is very intrusive. And if you're watching this video so far, you might as well subscribe to the channel. I am close to 30,000 subs. It'll be great if I can get there this summer. So over time, there have been software updates, and this time around with iOS 18, there are a ton of changes that are coming to your iPhone. And the most notable ones are the design changes within the phone itself, like being able to finally move icons around your screen, as well as change the icons from light mode to dark mode, or change the color entirely. Now stop me if you've heard this one before, but these changes were implemented on Android a few years ago, maybe even 10 years ago. But of course, life is not about who is first. These changes are welcome and they're pretty cool, I guess. But when you really think about it, where else could Apple go when it came to customizing your phone? So I feel this was very much inevitable. A few other changes: the iPhone will finally support RCS, so you can then send your high-resolution pictures and videos to your friends that use an Android phone. We also have upgrades to iMessage, like more animated tapbacks, or you schedule a message for a future time, and a lot more. iOS 18 looks to be one of the biggest updates from Apple and the iPhone, but nothing was bigger than the announcement of AI or Apple Intelligence. Not artificial. You know, they have to name every single thing. Apple Intelligence is everything we know and love about ChatGPT or Gemini Nano sprinkled with that Apple sauce. And it will be available only for the iPhone 15 Pro and the Pro Max, or your iPads, your MacBooks with M1 or even later chips. I'm sorry, if you have an iPhone 15 and lower, it might be time. Apple Intelligence has the basic AI features like everyone else, features like your rewriting tool or summarizing text in your email and in your other apps, with most of these requests done on your phone. The special sauce is its partnership with OpenAI and using ChatGPT 4o for requests per your consent when Siri can't complete a particular action. So I think Apple's version of AI is vastly better than Galaxy AI. Galaxy AI has the basics just like Apple, but I think Apple took it further by integrating it with their other Apple devices, which is keeping you within their own ecosystem. There are privacy concerns, but they use something called the private cloud compute, which means they'll never be able to store your data or even access your data at any point. And I know it's easy to not believe these claims, but Apple is pretty strong on privacy and security, so this might actually check out. But it's not all bad though for Samsung, because the S24 Ultra has phenomenal battery. Now, in recent weeks, a lot of people have said the battery life has become worse with the recent updates, but I'm happy to say it hasn't really affected me, or maybe I just use my phone less and less these days because of work, but it 100% did better than the iPhone 15 Pro Max that doesn't have the strongest battery life this time around. 6 to 7 hours of screen on time on the iPhone and 8 to 9 hours on the Galaxy S24 Ultra. Alright, let's talk about the camera quality between these two phones. And just a little disclaimer, if you did not like the camera quality on Samsung phones generally, I don't think my opinion is going to change your mind. However, the differences between these two phones aren't exactly clear, and I also realize it is subjective because megapixels are not the full story, because the 15 Pro Max is still a better camera unit in its entirety. From my perspective, both of these phones give the ability to take great pictures. Color accuracy and dynamic range is pretty up there bar for bar, but the Galaxy S24 Ultra has a cooler tone while the iPhone 15 Pro Max is on the warmer side. Now, when I took a few pictures, they gave good color accuracy. They both did well with good lighting conditions, and that also went for portrait mode and the ultra wide lens. Although the ultra wide on the S24 Ultra gave me more of a softer tone. So with these upcoming iOS updates, will I be going back to the iPhone? The answer is yes, for now. There are so many great features that are coming to the MacBook that work in tandem with the iPhone, like iPhone mirroring, for example, and the other great features within the ecosystem. Now, one of the many reasons I used an Android phone like the Pixel 8 Pro or even the Galaxy S24 Ultra were because of those extra AI features or extra software features. So now that Apple can do them, and even better in some cases, and obviously I have other Apple devices, I believe this is the best time to use your iPhone 15 Pro Max. Thank you guys for watching this video. My name is KJ, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.